lot of people say that affiliate programs are just full of coupon and cashback partners. And they are, if you let them be full of coupon and cashback partners. If we remove the blinkers and start looking elsewhere, there are tons of affiliates that we should be working with. In this video, I'm going to run through some common categories. Some you might know, some you might not, but there's some different type of affiliates in here for you to work with, to recruit and hopefully grow your program. First up, we have content and media. This could be a small blogger, or it could be a big media house that has an online site like Condé Nast or Hearst. These are big digital publications and they get a lot of traffic. They're great for building brand awareness, for storytelling, for SEO, and for getting your brand associated with some big publications. A lot of these guys will work through sub-networks. Skimlinks is probably the biggest one and the most well-known for the big media publications. So I'd highly recommend that you get Skimlinks onto your program. Alternatively, you can use someone like Linkbee, which is a CPC partner. So they will work with the publications and they'll get you a placement in a listicle or an advertorial, and you'll be paying on a CPC. So that's a nice way if you have some upfront budget just to test it and see whether it works, because you're only paying for the clicks. As long as you can convert them on the other side, then it's a good test budget to have. And then if you see good returns, then you can talk about something more permanent, a long-term partnership, maybe some more upfront media alongside a CPA. Next up, we have creators or influencers. I just put creators because we're looking at a broader range of people here. Influencers tends to think of Instagram. Creators, we're thinking YouTube, we're thinking Instagram, we're thinking TikTok, we're thinking maybe B2B LinkedIn creators. So there's a very broad spectrum here, but essentially they're great for an engaged audience. We could look at the big creators here, but we could be looking at lots of smaller micro influencers here where they might have a higher engaged audience. They could also be great because the big guys normally come with big costs. So the smaller guys, you could get in there early while they're building their audience and really engage with their audience and grow together. Next one on the list is CSS, which is the comparison shopping service. So when Google opened this up to allow other CSS into their shopping service, a lot of affiliates then popped up that will do this on a CPA for you. So that could be very cost effective if you're running CPCs to have a CPA alternative or something that runs alongside what you're already doing, because Google itself will tell you they do not drive up your cost per clicks. They do not drive up your budgets. Google will see them as the same brand. So they're both sending to similar landing pages or the same landing pages, and therefore they're seen as the same brand. So it's not like you're running alongside a competitor who's driving traffic off elsewhere and raising your bids or raising your CPCs. So very good for particularly lower funnel. We will still see it as lower funnel really, but it is scalable. A lot of it depends on your product feeds. Make sure your product feeds are as optimized as possible. Working with the CSS, have a conversation in terms of the products or the categories you want to focus on, and they will help you do that. They will help you manage your products. They'll feedback what needs to be added or what's missing, and you can work together on maybe increase CPAs for certain products or categories to incentivize them to go harder on those. Really important to think about payments as well, because this is an upfront cost. They're paying all this CPC up front, so ideally we want to be rewarding them as quickly as possible. So making sure that our payment models are good and strong and you pay out as quickly as you physically can do. That means for cash flow, that works better for them. CLO is the next one on our list. This is card linked offers. Sometimes you'll see these in banking apps, or there may be standalone apps that run these CLOs or card linked offers. Essentially, it's the customer uploading their card, and anytime they use that card, they'll get some kind of offer. Or it's great for omni-channel because that card could be used online or it could be used in store. They'll see whether a customer has shopped in the last 12 months or not, or maybe they've shopped with a competitor and not with your brand. We can incentivize those customers to shop with you rather than the competitor, which means there's a lot of different things you can do. Think new versus existing is another one that you can run with them. So great for measurable ROI, for aligning with your internal KPIs as well as a brand. A really strong one to have. A lot of these guys will be direct partnerships, won't always be your typical affiliate. In most cases, you can pass the data back through the network. That way you'll see it alongside your other affiliates. It won't be deduped in that way, but it will be alongside them in terms of seeing how the revenue compares. And if you're managing one budget, that can really help as well, because you'll be paying out through the network. So it'll be one budget, one line on your spreadsheets. Comparison is a great one, and it can work with most niches. For example, we work with the trainer sites, so we work with the sneaker comparison sites. It's very, very good for building that brand authority, customer confidence as well. Customers can also see what your benefits are compared to others. So if you have resellers, for example, you might have better colorways, better stock levels, wider product ranges compared to competitors. A customer can see that and they'll feel more confident in shopping with you, and ideally maybe move that potential order away from a competitor or reseller towards your brand. And I think if you looked in most niches, there'll be some kind of comparison. Mattresses is another one that's been massive, or anyone shopping for furniture, there's furniture comparison sites out there. Have a little dig around, see what you can find, but there should be some kind of niche comparison site for your brand. Closed user groups, and we're defining closed user group as any group or audience where there has to be a verification. It might be key workers, it might be employees, it might be students, for example. They're great because they're a targeted audience. So if you want to do a targeted student offer at a certain time of the year, maybe during freshers, then work with a closed user group that can do that for you. And by verifying, it ensures that you know that customer is actually authentic. They are a verified student because they've used some kind of verification service to be able to entrust that this is a qualified customer. And like with students, you can use other marketing activities throughout the years, whether it's teachers, maybe Nurses Week, things like that. And you can align that with your internal communications. Maybe you've got a CRM email going out about nurses, for example, during Nurses Week. Align it with an offer, maybe push that offer in the email or show it on site. A lot of these guys can integrate with what you have on site. Great way to target a specific audience and ensure that your offers go to the customers you want them to. Last one is media buyers. And again, similar to CSS partners, they buy the inventory up front. We have to think about payment models and in fast payment if possible with these guys, but they take your creatives and they're pushing your ads either through native advertising, display retargeting, finding DSPs that they can push your ads through, your creative through, and then they're building an audience, defining that audience based on whether it converts. So the more it converts, the more they double down on that audience, and it's scalable. It's great for rapid growth, for quick growth, because you find the audience that converts well and you just push it harder. And that might come from you giving them higher commissions, better commissions for certain customers, and they will scale it for you. So they're experts in terms of media buying, and you're utilizing them for your affiliate program. And again, similar with CSS, you could use this and compare it to what you're doing already. So there are a lot of brands that are doing display retargeting or whatever it is, or meta ads, and just compare it, because you might find that paying on a CPA is much more cost effective for you than your current campaigns on CPCs. So again, use it as a bit of a test bed. Maybe it's a test budget, maybe it's a test audience, a test platform, or whatever it is, but work with them and see what works, and then scale up from that if you're getting good results. Hopefully you found those recommendations useful. Removing the blinkers from coupon and cashback can really open up your programs. It can offer a lot of scalability, lots of different categories. So ensure that you have a good publisher mix on your program. We want diversity because that's how you grow. If you're channeling through certain category types only or certain audiences, you're going to be restricted in terms of how much you can grow your programs. So let's look at different categories. Let's look left and right. To keep our program growing year on year, we need to be looking outside of the traditional lower funnel affiliates. These categories that I mentioned will be great for that. Obviously there's more out there, but I wanted to give you a bit of a snapshot of some really good ones and scalable ones that you can get on board really quickly and work with quickly to grow your programs. We'll be releasing a lot more videos, so if there's anything you want me to cover in any future videos, please drop it in the comments below, or like and subscribe if you found this useful as well, because that can really help in terms of growing this channel.